Startup Podcast PH is co-produced by Sprout Solutions, Aperon, Tuala, Simf, and AimHigh. Check out our partners in the description.
Welcome sa isang Startup Podcast PH special. We have No Code Philippines, a non-profit movement empowering the no-code and low-code community in the Philippines. We have Crystal Camarao, Executive Director of No Code Philippines. Hello, kamusta?
Hello, kamusta? Ako medyo kinakabahan, pero push lang.
So ano lang to, chill conversation. That's what we do naman dito sa podcast So we interview founders, we interview people na kumbaga related or in the tech community in the Philippines, and we want to bring out authentic conversation. So ayun, I'm very excited to know more about No Code Philippines. Lagi ko na nakikita to actually all around ng Philippine Startup Week and online events, mga events And I'm also excited to know yung story behind nito since ikaw nga ang nagsimula at nagpausbong ng movement na ito So ayun, wag natin patagalin pa, Crystal. Ano nga ba ang No Code Philippines?
So No Code Philippines, as you mentioned, is a nonprofit, and we're all about empowering the no code and low code community here in the Philippines. So we do this, for example, by helping them discover no code and low code. We also do this by equipping them with skills that help them with their no code and low code, whatever project or skill that they want to learn. And we also, of course, give them a network, a support network of like-minded individuals, people who are also into no code and low code.
And actually, bigyan muna natin ng context, si No Code Philippines. So, no code meaning walang code, or maybe low code, So, pwede bang pa-differentiate muna ang no code maybe sa yes code or parang dun sa code or maybe parang traditional coding or programming? So, ano ba yung difference talaga nito?
So, no code is parang it's kind of like coding, but you're not coding. So, I contradict myself, pero parang
Maganda yun actually.
oo.
Coding pero you're not coding.
Yeah, kasi meron naman talaga, in order to make software, there's always really code underneath. Pero nilalagyan ng no-code tools and platforms na parang abstraction layer ba yung tawag dyan, na parang you don't need to code. Kasi all you need to do usually is drag and drop
Yeah.
or plug and play siya na kind of, yun yung terms na usually nagagamit around no-code, drag and drop and plug and play. To build apps and websites and even automations. Kasi usually talaga, ang standard way of doing it is traditional coding like you mentioned. Pero with no code and low code, tinatanggal mo yung kailangan mong magsulat ng, for example, heading tag, H1, opening tag, hello, then H1 closing tag. Pero with no code, idadrag mo lang yung heading element sa canvas mo. And then, pwede mo na doon isulat yung hello.
Yeah. Actually, yun nga, I remember actually, unang encounter ko sa No Code Philippines, isang event nung Philippine Startup Week. I actually participated in that event. And ang naalala ko nun na pinaka-explanation din ng No Code is parang shoutout natin si Lois, no? Kasi actually, she explained to me ano nga rin ba talaga ang No Code. So si Lois ang
Director of Partnerships ng No Code PH right
No Code
now.
PH.
Yeah.
And parang pag-explain niya sa akin, basically ang coding is logic, 'di ba? Parang you're giving logic to the machine. Traditionally kasi hindi pa natin kumbaga kausap yung machine. So kailangan mong magbigay ng language sa machine, which is yung mga yung mga tags, yung mga bracket, and then BR for I think sa HTML yung space, no? Close bracket, etc. para makausap mo yung machine. But in the end naman, it's basically just logic, So parang somehow may way para mas madaling makausap yung machine, and at the same time nagagawa pa rin yung logic na gusto mo ipagawa dun sa machine, right?
Yes, correct. So, programming talaga, it has to do a lot with logic. Pero kasi minsan, alam mo yun, you can get stuck, for example, with syntax, errors, and stuff like that. Although, I think lately with newer editors, it's getting less and less. Pero, sa no-code talaga, natatanggal yung mga ganong barriers.
Especially yung syntax, magkamali ka na ng semicolon.
Totoo. Alam mo ba, nung internship ko nung college, kasi by the way, comsci ako nung college. So I'm a traditional coder in that sense. I do know how to code. But nung college ko, may internship ako and parang ang tagal, parang buong araw hinahanap ko yung error. Tapos in the end, nakakalimutan ko lang pala yung semicolon. So, I think lately though, with recent developments, like yung mga Visual Studio, ganun, parang hindi naman na, nangyayari yun. Kasi less errors na in those terms. Pero, sobrang nakaka-stress lang na parang yun lang pala yung mali.
Yeah, kasi parang grabe, no? Ang focus mo rin dapat is yung building the logic, eh. Pero kumbaga, nahihinder ka ng mga kamalian sa syntax na possibly typographical error nga lang naman talaga or parang maybe nasagi mo lang yung or nakalimutan mo lang maglagay ng semicolon or something. But, ayun, no? So, ilatag lang natin na maayos, So, ano ba talaga yung parang advantages din ng no-code, especially for the users, compared to sa traditional? So, siguro pa-emphasize lang din ulit sa ating mga nakikinig dito, ano ba talaga yung kina-benefit if you use no-code tools?
Yeah, so with no-code kasi, obviously, mas mabilis siya. Kasi hindi siya gaya ng traditional coding na alam mo yun, yung gaya ng sabi ko, ta-type ka kunwari ng H1 tapos opening tag tas H2, H1 closing tag. Instead of coding those things manually, you just drag and drop. So it's really faster. So when it comes to in relation to startups, this is really helpful. So you get to save on time in terms of producing a prototype or even an MVP. So that is a very good advantage. Another advantage is it lowers the barriers to entry.
Yes, exactly.
So for example, right now kasi there's this very popular statistic in the no-code world, which is that 0.3% of the entire world can code. Only 0.3% of the entire world can code. So when you think about it, without no code, only 0.3% of the entire world can make software, right? Since software is dependent on code. So with that, paano yung kunwari, say for example, I can't really think of a good example right now, pero let's say I'm a student and I had this brilliant app idea. For example, I'm not sure if it's a good startup idea, pero for like Tinder for dogs. Kasi for example, I love my dogs.
I like that.
Or I love my dogs, but sometimes I want them to meet up with other dogs, for example. So, okay, so let's just forget muna the viability, the
market visibility.
The market visibility of this startup idea. Pero kasi parang you're someone na who wants this idea out in the world. Kasi it sounds cool na parang your dogs get to have friends, parang ganon. So, by lowering the barriers to entry, you're enabling the student who might not know anything about code to create an app that's a Tinder for dogs. And in a way, so who knows, he can impact others also to have who are looking for dog friends, right? Or who are looking for friends for their dog. So parang what's happening is you're inspiring creativity, innovation, and you're enabling these people to make their ideas come to life. Kasi the student who might not know how to code can use no code or even low code maybe to bring his idea to life.
Yes, that's true. Actually, buti binanggit mo rin yung, since we're at Startup Podcast BH, buti binanggit mo rin yung parang usefulness ng no-code for startups. Kasi especially yung agility, yung pagiging mabilis mag-produce ng program, for example, and even yung yung lower barrier to entry. Kasi instead na mag-hire ka pa ng developer talaga, sometimes if you just want to try an idea, kasi ganyan ang methodology ng startups usually before you really build a product, yung parang full scale, you have an MVP, the minimum viable product, you try it out, you put it out in the market and have people try it para ma-validate yung idea mo. So, ang hirap naman kung mag-hire ka muna ng developer to code and then so gumastos ka na and then tsaka i-release ano. So parang no code then enables yung parang you have a simple form muna nung gusto mong gawin and then you release it to the market, you try it, you validate and if may positive feedback, tsaka ka ngayon mag-hire ng more developers pa to build more advanced things ano. But basically parang maybe for startups yung parang agility nga and yung kumbaga fast release din sa market para mas pa-validate ano. Do you agree with that?
Yes, of course. So, marami kasi, I don't know the exact number, but a lot of startups fail. And I think the audience will agree with that. So, what you're doing kasi when you use no code is you validate the idea first before building out a complex solution. Kasi sometimes, no, we have really great ideas, but, sometimes the is not really there. Like the Tinder for dogs. So it might not be something that people will actually pay for, Na kasi obviously your startup has to make some sort of money and like it has to have some sort of business model. So it may not necessarily be that someone will pay for it. Sure, they might use it, but they might not necessarily pay for it.
True.
So without going to that that other aspect of startups, I'll just focus on no code. With no code kasi, you're able to validate your ideas faster. So get that you mentioned, even a simple form, a simple landing page, a simple prototype that you test out the market. Ask your actual users, your target users, is this something you would use? Is this something you would pay for? Versus parang you spend like, I don't know, so much money, so much time, so much effort even to come up with an MVP in the traditional way. And then once you make it, pag test mo pala, oops,
Yeah,
hindi
true.
naman pala marketable.
True.
Oops, hindi naman pala hindi naman pala maganda yung business idea
True.
ko. Ganon.
Yeah, and by the way, why we say that many startups fail ano kasi startups in essence are like experiments din eh. Parang experimenting to find a sound business model to solve like a particular problem. So maganda nga that if we are being enabled by no code para mas mabilis mag-experiment kumbaga. Now,
Yes.
mamaya natin explore yung mga ideas na yun, no? Medyo exciting din like si Tinder for dogs ano. Pero punta muna natin yung stories behind, lalo na yung parang personal reason why you really started si No Code Philippines ano. So No Code Philippines kasi is a movement. Very powerful yung word ano. So why did you start in the first place si No Code Philippines and especially as a non-profit na movement?
Yeah. Actually, when I was starting out with no code as a no coder pala, I'm sorry. When I was starting out as a no coder, I didn't have many friends who knew about no code. So, or kasi usually the way I think about most Filipinos, there's only two things. It's either they don't know what no code is or they don't know what they're doing is actually no code. Like for example, Notion is actually no code, but people don't realize that it's actually classified as no code. So they don't really know that what they're doing is no code. But I'd say that majority of Filipinos, hindi nila alam na ano ba yung no code. Parang when I tell them na I built this app na hindi ako nag-code, nag-drag and drop lang ako, parang hindi nila maano sa mind nila. Parang, paano yun? Parang gano'n. Paano mo nagawa yun? Kasi they're always parang, ano ba yung no code na yan? And even right now, a lot of people still don't know what it is. So when I was starting out with the no code journey, with my personal no code journey, I didn't have many friends. So I kind of like stalked or had like my no code ano ba tawag dyan? No code, sorry. Parang people I look up to na sa no code world. Pero they were mostly outside the Philippines. And so I was like, okay, I think I should look for like-minded individuals. I should look for friends or a network. So that's one good reason why I started it. And then when I started looking for communities here, there weren't really ones that were really active, or there was really, I couldn't find a community that was really parang championing the cause of no code and low code here in the Philippines. There was like, obviously there's like popular communities like UXPH, Product PH, pero none for no code PH mismo.
True.
So I was like, sabi ko, I think there were like existing groups, pero they were not really advocating for no code, or kung meron mga groups about no code, they were not really parang active with events or webinars. So sabi ko, I should see this as a way to parang also promote no code.
Yeah, may questions ako dun later, no? Kasi, pero I think later na natin, kasi parang, baka somehow pag no code, hindi ba siya parang against din dun sa mga nagko-code? Kasi it's no code eh. Parang,
No. That's traditional thinking na parang, it's gonna take away jobs of developers. But in my opinion, that's not really the point of no code. So the point of no code talaga is to enable pretty much everyone, remove the barriers to entry that I mentioned kanina, and enable pretty much everyone to use
code.
to use code, to
Yeah.
use that the no code tools and platforms to their advantage. Yeah, but sorry, going back lang kasi I remember you mentioned bakit non-profit. I already had an agency that was also focused on no code during that time. About the same time I started No Code PH, I also was starting my own no code agency. And aside from really networking and learning and collaborating with other no coders here in the country, I wanted to separate it, in the sense I wanted to make it an entity that was legitimate. And I wanted to, alam mo yun, uso budol sa Pilipinas eh. Sabi ko, if I'm gonna claim that this is a non-profit community but not, parang walang legit status as a non-profit, sabi ko, parang baka feeling nila sinascam sila, or baka feeling nila binubudol sila, ganon. So sabi ko, I wanted that sense of legitimacy. So eventually, when I was able to find fellow incorporators became the directors of the first directors of No Code PH, I really pushed to become a non-profit. I wanted it to be clear na we're not here to like parang just steal your data. We're not, kasi maraming ganun, 'di ba? Parang may free iPhone daw, tapos bigla na hindi ka na makalagin sa Facebook mo. 'Di ba? May mga ganong So I just wanted to reassure them na this is what we're functioning as. Parang we're not here to parang we're not here, like we're not a fly by night org, as one director put it. We're here to stay, and we're here to advocate for the cause of no code. And by that added legitimacy also, we can work with government institutions, government agencies maybe, other non-profits, and parang with that added parang non-profit status, we're able to work with them more
Yeah.
effectively. Kasi alam mo yon, may entity kami. Aside from, may mga non-profit discounts. For example, Slack. So we use Slack.
Oh.
Yeah, we Slack sa No Code PH. We know how it's not really affordable for a startup, but they have kasi non-profit discount up to 250 members in a workspace. So our internal org runs on Slack lang kasi yun yung free. Tapos syempre ang ganda ng Slack. So that's what so ang dami naming nakukuhang discount because of that.
So, ang view din ba dito is para siyang yung mga professional organizations na, kasi for me, like this professional orgs, para for example, an org in the Philippines for manufacturing inclined people or for operations research inclined people. So for me, so it helps in first, nagkakaroon ng community for those people. Second, yung network nga. And third, parang nagkakaroon ng identity yung mga tao na parang I belong to this organization, to this community. So, parang ano ba yung pinaka-value maybe na binibigay nung No Code Philippines as a non-profit movement sa mga members nito or sa mga people na kasama dito?
Yeah, so it's really more of education and training. Well, the first step obviously is discovery. Actually knowing what no code and low code is,
okay.
like I mentioned, or actually figuring out
Evangelization din. Parang,
ganon. Parang eventually figuring out na parang, what I do pala is no code, low code.
yes.
So parang, I guess parang kung may funnel man kami, the first step talaga for people is to discover no code and then get inspired with other no code no coders who have done it na they were able to create, for example, no code apps that were built using just maybe in a few months lang. So yun yung parang first part, parang discovery, inspiration, encouragement in that sense. And then the second part is yung education and training. So yeah, we have regular workshops, we have regular talks. We also have challenges or hackathons. And then we had a mini conference last year. Hopefully, we're gonna repeat it this year. And yeah, basically parang skill building. So yun yung I think the value. And then third yung minention mo, more of community, networking, and a sense of identity na parang, oh, I a sense of belonging din na parang I'm part of a community of like-minded individuals who are all about no-code and low-code.
Actually, ang ganda ng structure na yun, no? Parang discovery, ganun naman ng tao if learning something new eh. And now, as a community, discovery, and then parang enhancement, and then yung solidifying din yung community or yung movement. Pero kanina pa natin binabanggit yung mga no-code na ito, ano? Para lang mas mabigyan ng context, ano ba example ng mga no-code tools out there? And maybe, ano ba favorite mo, Crystal, sa mga...
Favorite ko na no-code tool is paiba-iba. So parang nung may mga times na ito yung no-code tool na gusto ko, I guess depende sa season of my life. Yung first love ko ba talaga yung tawag doon sa no-code ay Webflow. Kasi I used to freelance as a web designer. And natutunan ko yung this awesome tool called Webflow. And ang ganda kasi, ang sarap, yung feeling na ang sarap gumawa ng website sa Webflow. Hindi ka na parang hindi masakit yung ulo mo.
Ida-drag and drop na lang ba yun? Dito yung menu, dito yung mga kung ano man kailangan gawin. So, ganun.
Yes. And mas gusto ko kasi, ako personal, preference ko, is marketing websites. So, yung mga static website lang, may simpleng form lang minsan, sobrang favorite ko yung gawin. So, for me, that's why Webflow is my favorite no-code tool. Pero, there are also so many other great no-code tools. So, I'll have to mention Bobble because it's really the leading no-code tool. It's probably the no-code tool with with the most, if not the widest user base. A lot of successful startups have been built using Bubble. So they're a web app builder, but recently, mga last year during their conference, they announced na they're also gonna start doing native mobile apps. So that's a big thing kasi usually dati web app lang magagawa mo sa Bubble. And then another one of my favorites, more of a competitor of Bubble, is WeWeb. So ang maganda sa WeWeb kasi it separates back end and front end. You can do that with Bubble din, pero with WeWeb talagang separate yung back end and front end. And without getting into too much technical jargon, parang ang maganda 'di ba kasi doon is by separating the front end and the back end, you make it more scalable. So
nagtatry ka ba talaga ng iba't ibang mga tools?
Yes. Yes. Syempre mas maganda you focus on like maybe 2 or 3 no-code tools. Pero sobrang nag-e-enjoy ako na to discover no-code tools. So yung mga mas bago, like for example, Flutterflow, yun din yung isa sa mga mobile app builders na sobrang sikat right now.
Mobile app. So as in makagawa ka ng mobile app sa phone and no code, as in drag and drop?
Yes.
Or...
And also Adalo. So Adalo and Flutterflow, yun yung mga leading naman sa mobile app builders. And these are apps that you can download from the Play Store and the Google, the App Store.
Actually, personal I've heard some teachers or instructors ng technopreneurship, so hindi computer science, technopreneurship, nagpapagamit actually ng Webflow tsaka Bubble. So yung dalawang yun yung parang pinaka-naririnig ko na rin na no-code tool. Kasi, I mean, parang nasa class nila na in a technopreneurship class usually. So sometimes, technopreneurship classes dyan nagsisimula mga ibang startups na they have to think of an idea and part din ng course na i-validate yun. So, minsan, require ng teacher that they build a simple version of that startup or that idea. As far as I've heard, yung iba nga is Webflow, yung iba Bubble. And by the way, alam na ba na ang website ng Startup Podcast PH ay gumagamit din ng no-code tool. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this kasi medyo bago siya. Spread Simple. Do you know that tool?
Yeah, sorry, no.
Super new siya, super new. Startup din siya basically. And kaya ako siya, basically nabanggit lang sa akin. And ano siya, so yung website kasi ng Startup Podcast PH, may list ng mga episodes, may list ng mga product ng mga startups, may list ng mga events, may event calendar. And ang backend niya is basically a spreadsheet. So no code siya kasi you just put entries in that spreadsheet. And then automatically, the Spread Simple will read that spreadsheet and yun na yung gagawin niyang kumbaga front end, yung interface na nakikita ng mga tao. So, parang ganun. So, I think it's a no-code tool din, ano? Tama ba? Pasok din ba siya dun?
Yes, I think so. Kung wala kang ginawang kahit code, pasok na yun sa
Wala
no-code.
talaga akong ginawa actually. May ginawa ko onti-onti kasi parang, kunwari, kailangan kong mag-embed ng parang app. Naglagay ako ng blog eh. So, may onti-onti. As in, ikakopy ko lang yung
yung
parang
embed.
maliit na code doon na kailangan i-embed dun sa pero basically actually wala akong ginawang code. But anyway, speaking of this and relating din ulit sa startups, what do you think yung parang mga industries or sectors or very agnostic ba talaga sa industry ang no code or parang sino yung mga pwede mag-benefit with no code?
Yeah, so as I mentioned kayo, 'di ba, startups, obviously, kasi yung na-explain ko kanina. But increasingly, there's a lot of enterprise companies then who are using no code and low code. So, for example, let's say a big company, you have a different IT department from a different marketing department. Suppose the marketing department needs to change, I don't know, let's say a word or a phrase in the company website. Now, most marketing professionals, they don't necessarily know how to change that on their own without the help of the IT department.
Yes.
So, yung IT department, syempre hindi naman yung marketing website lang ng company yung pinoproblema nila. It's the whole IT needs of that whole company. So, pwede na matatagalan, right? I mean, not always, pero let's say they're filled with requests for some kind of IT help within that company. So what does no code provide for these kinds of companies? The marketing department is now empowered to edit that word or phrase on their own, right? Kasi traditionally they'd be super duper dependent on the IT department for that. But with no code and low code, konting training lang siguro na how to edit the word or phrase in the marketing website. And I think that's really very powerful kasi for marketing departments, they needed to have that flexibility. What if they discover that the copy of the hero copy, for example, is not working? So, hihintayin pa ba nila na i-edit na IT department? So, you're empowering marketing departments to do it on their own. So, that's one good example of how no code is empowering even enterprise companies. So, it may not necessarily be all kinds of companies, pero for companies that want that freedom or maybe not freedom, the flexibility and the speed in terms of doing things, no code can really help them. So it's really not just startups. I'd argue that it's even enterprise.
Yes, true. Actually, yung katulad sinabi mo, kasi true for startups nga, for fast validation, and true din for enterprises. Kasi I think this can also help them be lean. Kasi instead nga na pabalik-balik pa yung trabaho na IT department, marketing, or whatever department, actually, hindi na naman marketing. Balik sa IT, ganyan-ganyan. Nababawasan yung parang, let's say, friction or let's say yung parang babalik-balik nga na trabaho. Imbes na dati, pabalik-balik, ngayon with no code, since kaya na nung certain department, yung specific, kahit naman siguro hindi lahat, kahit yung particular parts lang, sila na mismo yung pwedeng mag-edit or sila na mismo yung pwedeng, mali mo, simple nga lang pala, ipapagalaw sa website, sa location, position, or merong babaguhin na, let's say, yung mga, may drop down, babaguhin yung entries, imbes na babalik pa sa IT, kaya mas kaya nang gawin na kahit sino siya, if low code yung parang software or yung parang tool behind Ayun.
Is payroll processing taking too much of your time? Introducing Sprout Payroll Starter. For as low as 5,000 pesos per month, you get a team of experts to help you with your payroll and HR needs. will help compute and process payroll, handle all your government compliance requirements, and automate timekeeping. Leave the payroll to us so you can focus on growing your business. Enjoy peace of mind with Sprout Payroll Starter.
Trust the digital future with Twala. Secure and tamper-proof digital signature. Electronic notarization service. And custom AI agents for intelligent document workflows. Visit twala.io to learn more. In today's digital world, your organization needs more than just technology. It needs a strategic partner. At Symph, we build web and mobile apps that drive innovation for startups, enterprises, and organizations worldwide. Visit symph.co today.
I think medyo malinaw na sa akin din, lalo na sa akin, no, yung no-code talaga and yung advantages and especially yung mga dulot niya or yung benefit niya for startups. Pero balikan natin yung what you mentioned kanina, no, that what you do for the community din. So you do meetups, you have done a hackathon, and may napuntahan nga akong event sa Philippine Startup Week. Although that was no online pa nung pandemic. And I've heard you also had an event sa Davao Startup Week. Tama ba? Davao Startup Week.
Yes, correct.
So, pwede pa ano ulit, parang meron ba kayong like regular events na ganyan? Meron ba kayong regular schedules? Or parang, how do you do these events then? And how do you execute them? How do you implement them?
Yeah, so as a non-profit, we're basically run by volunteers. And so we try to ang goal namin talaga as directors is at least one event or initiative per month. So that's what we try our best na we do that. We do have at least one sort of event or initiative per month. So yung sa Davao Startup Week kasi two of our former directors were from Davao. And then it so happened they heard about Davao Startup Week. So we pitched the idea of an event.
So ang org ninyo, ang kumbaga yung team din, yung parang executive team is all around the Philippines?
That time, may dalawa kami from Davao. But who live pala in Davao, not from Davao. May dalawa kami who live in Davao. But now, medyo on Luzon na lang kami.
Pero, I mean, this is ano naman, no, for the whole Philippines naman talaga.
Yes, so that's why when they mentioned na let's pitch an event to Davao Startup Week, I was more than like, yes, especially as a Davaoeña.
Actually, ang ganda kasi makita si No-Code Philippines all around the Philippines eh. And I'll be happy to help you like have visibility or events in Cebu. I have contact in Cebu from Startup Podcast PH. Pupunta ako actually soon sa Iloilo din. So I have contacts there. And then sa Baguio, Cordillera, parang saya no na may No-Code Philippines in any province or in any city na merong sariling nag-act na movement. What do you think about that?
Yes, so that is eventually the goal. So first few years namin talagang nag-concentrate muna kami sa Metro Manila, especially since even until now we're still figuring out a lot of things. I mean, and aside from we have limited capacity kasi we also have our full-time work. We're just doing this on the side as volunteers. So, with the limited capacity that we have and the fact that we still have like so many things internally that we want to get right, we're not really very intentional about expansion. However, we do want to reach sobrang the whole Philippines talaga. And thank you for mentioning that. Kasi we do want to do at least one event in Cebu right not right now, this year hopefully. We hope to do an event in Cebu this year. And if ever there's a chance to do other events outside Metro Manila, we'd be more than happy. Actually, we've been talking to certain orgs then. I don't know if I can say it kasi wala pang
Yeah,
MOU,
sure.
pero we really hope to reach other parts of the Philippines soon. Pero in terms of like yung chapter, parang right now, parang
Okay.
oh no, parang medyo mahirap. Pero
Yeah.
yung mga events, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, may naisip na ako from Cebu na ano dun na pwedeng community na mag mag jumpstart na rin nung parang reach ni No Code Philippines dun. But anyways, why I ask this is parang I really wanted to ask, maybe sa mga nakikinig nito, if may makinig na maybe gumagamit na ng no code tool pero hindi pa siya aware talaga na may No Code Philippines nga, maybe may mga ganun. Or may mga gumagamit ng no code tool and di nila alam na no code pala yun ano. So, parang ano ba talaga yung parang magiging benefit sa kanila if they join events maybe of No Code Philippines. Parang parang let's reach to our listeners or to potential parang potential more members pa of the community then, of the movement then.
Yeah, so for sure, if you want, for example, to learn more about no code, we have like I mentioned earlier, we have regular events where our goal lang talaga is education and training. And so you can come to our events such as that to really skill up. To maybe you're a career shifter, maybe you're a student looking to get into no code development, or maybe you want to create a no code project for your startup. We are a good avenue for learning no code PH, especially since um uh most if not all of our speakers are really good at no code. um or you can also join our hackathons, our challenges. So it's a week long event. It's not a traditional hackathon na overnight or
But it's
48
online
hours.
or
Yeah, online.
online?
Kasi we're aware kasi that this no code tools might not necessarily be known to these people. Kasi usually pag traditional coding, meron ng coding background. Yung traditional hackathon may traditional coding background na yung at least one member of the team to create the code for the hackathon. But since we want to equip them first with a no code skill or knowledge on no code, we start off things sa hackathon namin with a um launch and workshop. So we launch the challenge and then we have a workshop with a speaker who will teach them. For example, our latest one was Softer. And then throughout the week there are group mentoring calls. So every night for 1 hour you can attend a virtual call with a mentor. For example, you already have an idea and you're stuck on how to do this with Softer. So the mentor is there to guide you during that call on how to get unstuck. And then it ends with of course the submission. And then we announce the people who can showcase during demo day. So during demo day, that's when they showcase their project, and then based on the criteria, the panel of judges decides who wins. So I guess like if you really parang want to challenge yourself, then our hackathons are a good way to parang produce something. Another is, like I mentioned din kanina, is networking talaga. So, I've met a lot of people in No Code PH who are parang, I don't have any, like me din nung simula, na I don't really have many no-coder friends, or they don't really understand what I'm doing kasi nga it's something that's not really well known in the Philippines that much. So, they're like, oh, I want to network. I want to meet like-minded people, learn from them, collab with them. So that is a good way. So for example, we had a meetup before, and they were so inspired by no code. I saw them kasi we had an event in a coffee shop. I saw them parang talk to each other, and then they were thinking na of what startup to build using no code.
No, I like
So
that.
that kind of synergy that you get from networking with fellow no coders. So it's really something na you can learn but also enhance your no code I guess opportunities, kasi you get to parang talk to fellow people and then can get advice there. Which, kasi this is a common question that I get asked, which no code tool is best for my app idea? So
Oh.
parang there's so many factors, 'di ba? So usually you get stuck, you keep googling but you can't find the answer. But if there's someone to guide you, for example,
True.
on that journey. Yeah. Aside from, so we also have that mini conf 2 years ago. Once pa lang nangyari, but hopefully, like I mentioned also, we're gonna do it again this year. you're updated then with the latest no-code trends. So, an example that I can name is this was July 2021 or 2022 before ba ChatGPT or parang kaka-ChatGPT lang. So, I mean, AI is such a buzzword right now, but as early as July 2023, we already had a talk about how no code and AI can go together. I'm not so sure, but if I remember correctly, this was before
Oh, so
ChatGPT.
mauuna ka sa
Or
trends.
bago lang yung ChatGPT. So, yeah, I mean, you get access to these insights from these speakers. And then during the mini conf, then we had someone who was successful in building a no-code app and getting funding for it. So you get inspired, you get encouraged, you get that that vibe, that energy from other people. Oh, no code is
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
Grabe, ang daming benefits din talaga, no? Upskilling, mentorship nga, yung networking. I really like that, na may mga community members or participants din sa event na kumbaga nakabuo rin ng synergy or nakahanap ng mga katulad nila na possible makabuo ng project. Pero ang isa rin na nakikita ko dito, no, yung parang sense of belonging nga. Iba yun, na parang kasi dati pag baka lang pag gumagamit ka ng Bubble for example or ng kung anumang no-code tool, baka isipin hindi ka talaga coder kasi no-code nga, 'di ba? Pero ngayon may community na, mas may ka identity, tsaka mas may validation ka na this is true coding, no? At saka isa pang advantage nito is parang since there's a movement na No Code Philippines, mas ma-accept din siya ng mga startups and mga companies. So if you're a no-coder, mas mas kumbaga mas valid and mas mataas yung chance na you get to work with startups or with enterprises or with any company basically, So parang you also really empower. So totoo nga, that's really how you empower the no-code users. But speaking of that, so you build the community. Ang ganda actually that you do these regular meetups, these events. Para sa'yo, Crystal, what's the best thing that came out in building the community? I want to ask the best thing and maybe later yung parang challenging thing naman.
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess the best thing that for is this personal or for the org mo?
Personal.
Well, ako talaga personal, yung that is it I don't know what to call it, the aha moment or that light bulb moment when people like parang just have like that aha moment and then you tell them that this is possible with no code. And my favorite story is actually someone who participated in our hackathon twice. So she was a student and she did not come from a tech background at all. I think her course was, I forget now, but it's something to do with science. So she didn't really know how to code, but she was able to produce 2 apps. One app in our first challenge and then another app in the second challenge. So you are yung parang feeling na you're enabling or helping people na who might not necessarily have the technical background, who might not parang even dream of being able to produce an app in their lifetime. Yung parang aha moment na, oh my gosh, I was able to create an app. Parang ganon. Parang
Empowering nga talaga.
yeah, I think that is the best thing that for me na parang yung sense na you're able to help them create these apps or bring their ideas to reality. I think that's the best thing that that I like about No Code PH. Or for example, when I also went to this talk, and I gave a talk introducing them to no code, ganyan. Tapos nilapitan niya ako after my talk and then sinabi niya sa akin, you really inspired me to create my own app in no code. Yung ganon, yung parang, it's really parang nakakataba ng puso, as we like to say, as we Filipinos like to say, na parang, yes, parang that is why we do what we do in no code PH. As for challenging, you already mentioned this kanina, pero yung stigma. There's really stigma. Parang people are like, no code, that's real coding, that's no good, ganon. May stigma talaga. And it still exists, even like in 2025. People are still parang, not everyone of course, but a lot of people are still parang once they hear what no code is, or once they hear about um more about no code, they fall into the trap of thinking yung mga laging sinasabi about no code. So, and this is especially true for a lot of developers. I hate to say this, but a lot of developers are snobbish about no code. Parang they're like parang alam mo yun,
I
parang they
get that.
cringe when I tell them about no code. Parang I get this sense na parang they're not really parang open to the idea of no
I'll
code.
say it na, parang ano yun elitism din yun somehow kasi they have the certain skill and parang merong naging available na quote-unquote lesser skill but can do the same thing, the same output that they do. So of course, syempre you'll feel that parang
Yung
for yung,
stigma.
yeah.
So, there really is that stigma, but not even just with other developers, with other people as well. No code really has a stigma. So, yun yung challenge when you encounter those kinds of parang encounters na parang they're not really open-minded about no code. Aside from, it's really harder to parang advocate for no code when, syempre, if you're gonna advocate for something that everyone supports, parang believes in, parang I guess it would be easier, right? Like, I don't know, if I was gonna advocate for free donuts for everyone, I think no one would like be against that. But with no code kasi it's harder for us to parang convince, for example, people to attend our workshops kasi there's that stigma nga. So that is what I would say is the most challenging thing.
Now, I'm curious, may isa pa mas personal na question. So, yun yung challenge and stigma nga of advocating No Code Philippines. Yun yung stigma against no code. Pero I also have a personal question kasi usually din when I ask startup founders, I really want to know like their roots din or parang paano nga ba nila or bakit nila talaga stinard yung startup. In this case, stinard si No Code Philippines. So you've mentioned your background, no? You're a computer science graduate. So siguro ko kwento na ng onti nung panahon ba na yun when you were a comp sci student, nagkaroon ka na ng any idea na in the future gagawa ka ng advocacy, gagawa ka ng no code movement? And second, parang ano yung naging push to really start No Code Philippines?
Yes. Yeah, so I wouldn't have dreamed siguro. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, parang ano yung tawag, Microsoft front page. I was like creating websites using Microsoft front page. So I think technically it's no code.
Oh, grabe.
And I think Dreamweaver ba yung tawag sa Adobe. I forget now the real name. Pero these were like early no-code tools when I was a kid. And so I really enjoyed making websites and using no-code then as early as, I don't know, like my preteens. But I would not have never dreamed to parang hala, I'd be starting yun nga, no-code PH. I mean, I guess if you think about it, right, if I think about it right now, parang I did enjoy creating websites and even apps na on my own. Yung parang yung joy na, I find it joyful personally. Maybe not everyone can relate, but I find it joyful when I'm able to come up with an app or a website. And so that could be a good reason why it really happened. But what was the real push? Yun, I guess parang I felt like there was like a need for it.
In the country.
In the country. Kasi no one is really advocating for no code and low code. No one is really parang teaching these people the skills necessary to there are certain groups na for example, very niche to their no code tool, but no code in general wala talaga as a philosophy, as a movement. And I just wanted to add then na this is something then that I believe in no code PH, which is that for sure there are tools that will really stay, but sometimes tools come and go. Like I mentioned kanina, Microsoft front page. I don't remember if may Microsoft front page pa ba ngayon. But no code is really about like empowering. This is our mission, to empower citizen developers.
I like that.
Yeah, and yes, we want people to know about these no-code tools, but we don't want to be just focusing on one or two or even three. We want to focus on as many no-code tools as possible. We're all about the philosophy, the movement, the mindset that I can be a citizen developer instead of just equipping them with the skills with one no-code tool. That's why with no code page, we try to be as versatile and flexible when it comes to which no code tools. So sometimes I get asked, what tool would you recommend? I always say na it's my personal preference, but parang 5 years from now, who knows which no code tools will come out and might get a bigger market share than other no code tools. I really don't know. But what I do know is that no code is able to empower citizen developers, and that's why I want to focus on the philosophy and the movement. Yeah.
Oh, I really like that, yung term na yun, citizen developers, na parang lahat ng tao ay kaya mag-code, kaya mag-develop. So parang ano nga rin, increasing the accessibility of building amazing things, amazing innovations. But I also like na parang you really just wanted to share the joy din, no? Na you really enjoy building apps, building websites, and now you want to empower other people to have the same joy din. Pero ang actually personal question mo dito, kasi for startup founders, sometimes they question themselves na parang, tama ba na ginagawa ko tong ano? Tama ba na, tsaka parang, ako din like si Startup Podcast page, na parang, people may judge me na bakit ko to ginagawa? Parang bakit ako yung nag-step forward to do, for example, a podcast about startups? I mean, what are my credentials? Why me, for example? So do you also have that thought? Do you also have those thoughts and parang maybe judgment din for ibang tao na parang, who is that? Parang ganun.
all the time, all the time. Like parang I always parang think na parang about me but also the movement. Kasi parang napapaisip din ako na parang what if may mag-question? Parang wala namang natutulong ang no code. Alam mo yung mga imposter syndrome, or I don't know if you call
Yeah,
it imposter syndrome.
exactly.
Parang may ano ba, I always ask myself, meron ba talagang nagagawa ang no code PH? Nakakatulong ba talaga siya? Is it really able to empower citizens? Are we really fulfilling our mission? And siguro the first question is our mission really worth pursuing? And if it's worth pursuing, are we even able to effectively pursue it? Parang gano'n na parang, talaga ba kailangan ba ng citizen developer ng mundo? Kasi some people would think otherwise, na parang dapat let the experts do it. Alam mo yun? And then, assuming that's not true, and then we want to empower citizen developers, are we even able to do that? So, yung mga ganong imposter syndrome, aside from, ako as a person, before this, I had no community building experience. Absolutely, yung from the ground up. Usually, I would join parang, for example, nung college, I was the editor-in-chief of our student newsletter publication sa UP DCS. And there was already an existing publication. Medyo namatay siya, but we revived it. Anyway, the real kwento is someone already planted the seeds, right, of building that newsletter publication. But me starting talaga from the start, parang kaya ko ba to? Am I really capable? Ganon. Yung mga ganong thoughts din is for sure meron.
Yeah, pero usong-uso nga yan, no, yung imposter syndrome, lalo na sa mga startup founders. Kasi, at buti na word out po yung yung parang 2 questions yun tama ba yung mission na ginagawa natin? And, parang, ano nga ito, parang,
Oo, tama
tama
yung
ba yung
sabi mo.
mission and nagagawa ba natin yung mission?
Totoo.
'Di ba? So ako rin minsan sa startup podcast kasi I mean konting sharing lang parang tama ba ang startups for the community? And second, nagagawa ko ba nga as a podcast na magawa yung mission na yun? So I mean I guess this is for for any organization, any movement, any advocacy din talaga. But think of that, how do you fight those parang thoughts, those negative thoughts? How do you keep on pushing for the advocacy? How do you keep driven kumbaga? Or
Well,
you really just believe in the mission talaga?
without really saying too much, a huge part of it, of course, is my faith. Na I'm not dependent on my own capabilities. But without going too much into it, it's also partly because I always think na I'm doing my best. So I might not do it perfectly. Of course, I'll never do it perfectly. But as long as I'm able to say to myself, "Oh, Crystal, walang event yung No Code PH this month kasi sobrang busy ka sa full-time mo." Kunwari lang. And then, I just tell myself na I did my best. Alam mo yun, given the set of circumstances, given the situation, as long as I can go to sleep at night knowing na I did my best. So, if I'm not able to do my best, then medyo dun na parang nakikreep one na for me, ay, yan, pinakawalan mo, or pinakawalan mo yung task mo or something. So I guess that is how I stay driven. Na parang I just I make sure that I do my best. And then when things go wrong or things don't go exactly as planned, parang I just try to remember na um I did my best naman. Alam mo 'yun? Kasi wala namang perfect na non-profit, walang perfect na startup, walang perfect na community. So, and walang perfect na tao na nagra-run ng mga things na 'to. So, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, of
Pero
course,
yeah.
of course. Actually, naano nga ako, medyo tinamaan nga din ako. Kasi true, na parang you really, lalo na if you're starting a community or a movement, you really have no grasp or parang measure on ano na ba yung naging milestone niya. Mahirap talaga lagyan ng measure yan. Pero for me, yun nga, with what you've said for No Code Philippines, as long as you have that mission and even that far away vision na in the future, ma-empower ang citizen developers, maging accessible talaga ang building innovations for everyone. So may ganun kang vision, may ganun kang direction. Just do a small step every day, every month, and just, yun nga, parang just put out yourself, just do your best. And slowly, nagagawa mo naman pala, and slowly, lumalapit naman talaga tayo dun sa future na gusto nating mapuntahan.
Introducing Aim High. Smarter construction management starts here. Monitor costs and progress with real-time insights. Plan ahead and adapt with streamlined scheduling tools. Make data-driven decisions to avoid costly delays. Increase efficiency and profit with Aim High.
Ayun. So, final question na, Kristen. Actually, almost 1 hour na tayo. So ano nga bang vision talaga ni No Code Philippines as an organization and as parang yung no code talaga perception, everything sa Philippines?
Yeah. We were talking about this recently kasi the directors and I met for parang a planning session for the year. And sabi nila parang we should try to advocate for no code to be taught in universities and schools.
Oh, interesting.
Sabi ko, kung nangyari yan sa every university and school sa Pilipinas, resign na tayo. Tapos na, isarado na natin no code PH. Kasi if it reached that's my thinking. If it reached that level of adoption, if parang sobrang accepted na siya na as a key skill that
True.
that students need to learn, I think we can safely close no code PH. I think we can just or at least maybe the advocacy portion, we don't need to advocate for no code anymore. We can just continue to help them enhance their skills, continue to provide a support network. Pero the dream really is to yun nga, yung first step is yung adoption ng no code. And actually our vision, if I remember correctly right now, just wanted to say, forgive me, Deon, you are the one who wrote this vision. Tapos hindi ko man lang ma-quote by word by word. I think if I remember correctly is to something every Filipino, to help them adapt, and to help every Filipino adapt in the rapidly changing digital environment through no code and low code. So I think we can't argue na hindi rapidly changing yung digital environment. It's like, like kakablabas lang, for example, ng DeepSeek. It really changed the whole parang the game of AI or whatever. And so it's always changing. There's always but no Filipinos, if they adapt well to this rapidly changing environment, through the use of of course other things, but also to the use of no code and low code, then they will really be parang empowered. Kasi alam mo yung time na I don't know, am I that old? Pero may time kasi na nasa mga job posting pa, must know Microsoft Word or Excel. Parang, ngayon, hindi mo na isusulit yan sa job post kasi parang inassume mo na alam talaga nila yung Microsoft Word or Excel. Pero there was a time na that was actually a qualification for a
Gets.
job post. Ngayon, with the kids right now, with mahirap na maghanap ng kid right now that doesn't really know how to use Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. Or even when I was a kid, I think I remember we had a whole course nung grade school ba yun? Just on how to use Microsoft PowerPoint, was it? I forget now. Yung ganon. Ngayon, it's really parang it's really something that everyone does. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, we want to help every Filipino na mag-thrive, mag-adapt sa ganyang rapidly digital environment. And hopefully, who knows, maybe in the future, no code is the norm. And it's gonna be such a normal part of our lives, as normal as Microsoft Word and Excel. And actually, I believe it's going through there. Technically, Canva is a
Pwede.
no-code tool.
Yes, actually.
Notion is a
Mhm.
no-code tool. And these tools, parang based on my understanding, Gen Zs are like super good at Canva, super good at Notion, parang ganun.
Parang normal na nga rin sa kanila eh. Kasi
Oo,
doon sila
parang
pinanganak eh.
yun yung Microsoft Word at Excel ng
actually,
generation nila na nung dati parang it used to be a qualification sa atin. Pero sa kanila ngayon, parang standard na everyone na knows how to use these tools.
Yeah, pero first of all, no, yung adoption sa schools, I think pwede siyang mangyari sa technopreneurship courses. That if all technopreneurship courses, maybe malapitan nga ng No Code Philippines to really use, and nasa curriculum na, that parang, nasa syllabus pala, sorry, nasa syllabus na part talaga ng course na to build an MVP, to validate it using a particular no-code tool. So maybe parang part na nga rin na magtuturo ng no-code, ng no-code philosophy or ng no-code, basically that no-code concept. And then what you said then about yung rapidly changing world, dapat nakakasabay yung mga Pilipino. I just want to add there kasi idagdag ko rin Startup Podcast, we advocate two things naman. Medyo align yung advocacy natin eh. Ang Startup Podcast is entrepreneurship, which I believe is para maging sustainable ang country by itself, maging not too dependent. And then next, innovation, so entrepreneurship and innovation, which are startups, di ba, basically. Kasi innovation is what will help us, ayun nga, adapt to the rapidly evolving and changing world. And now I realize lang when you said that, kasi no-code actually, siya yung parang layer pa for people na makasabay sa innovation. Para magawa ng innovation, you need no-code, di ba? So, parang yun yung physical skill or parang kailangan meron yung mga tao para magkaroon ng innovation, para maka-adapt nga talaga sa rapidly evolving world. Ayun. So, ayun, grabe, Crystal. So, 1 hour na ang ating conversation. Ay, makasal lang pala on the structure of no-code. So, may full-time job ka now.
Yes. So, I mentioned kanina, I started my no-code agency around the same time I started no-code PH. So, essentially, I'm a freelancer. So, I have my own no-code agency. That's my full-time.
And then yung team din, yung parang executive team, may mga full-time jobs din.
Yes.
And,
so, we're volunteer run and we do it lang talaga in our free time.
So, can I just ask like, how many na ba yung executive team or like yung directors?
Sure. So, it's me, executive director. Then, there are 6 directors. So, director of learning and development, I mentioned him kanina, si Deon. Director of events, si Gra. Director of finance and operations, si Jace. And then, we mentioned her kanina, si Lois. She's director of partnerships. Director of community, si Sean. And then director of PR and marketing, si Pauline. So, underneath them is some volunteers. So, it depends on per committee. Like, some committees are more popular than others. Like, learning and development is very popular for our volunteers. They really want to serve in that committee. So, under each director under that committee, may mga directors. But again, we're all volunteers lang. So, if you want to volunteer,
Gets. Shout out sa team, no? And ayun nga, sige, let's go there na if you want to volunteer or if you want to join the movement, if you want to help on the movement, be part of the community. So, Crystal, how can they know more about No Code Philippines and maybe about you or maybe about the team members? So, maybe you can lead them to the website na nasa likod natin and other links. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's easy to memorize. Nocode.ph. Please visit our website. Membership is absolutely 100% free, and it gives you access to our newsletter. It gives you access to our Discord server. Gives you access to our RSVP for our events. And most, if not all, our virtual events are actually free. Yung in person lang yung usually may small fee as a way of donation. And if you want to volunteer, we're currently revamping our volunteer program, but we are going to launch batch 3 of our volunteers. So hopefully, if you want to volunteer, please just stay tuned. We're in every social media platform pretty much. So we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we even have Threads and TikTok, and we have YouTube and LinkedIn. Yeah. So please follow us if you want to stay tuned. And yeah, hopefully you'll volunteer us. And if you're an organization that wants to partner with us, we are not picky, or we're not as long as we're able to fulfill our mission to empower citizen developers, we want to work with you. No matter what part of the country you are, no matter how small your team is or how big your team is, we want to work with you. So if you want to partner with us in empowering citizen developers, let's collab and work together. Please send me an email. So it's just Crystal, my name CRYSTAL @nocode.ph. So just send me an email. I'd love to work with you.
Ayun. So, feel free to contact Crystal and Noko.ph. By the way, events. Meron ba kayong mga nalapit na events?
Yes. So we have a workflow automation talk coming up this February 17th. So it's called Work Less with No Code and AI. And it's about no code and AI. So it's a lot to do with workflow automations as well. So I hope I hope you join us. And then we're launching something that's kind of new to us. So it's more of like a mentorship program. So it's like a boot camp, but we don't do the teaching. Parang we'll give them a curriculum. For example, YouTube videos to watch for that week. And then my accountability meeting with a mentor and guidance and support na rin. And then they have to present the project for that week. So at the end of 6 weeks, they should have at least 4, maybe 5 projects, and then they get to showcase those projects. So if you really are serious about honing up or learning your no code skills, this mentorship program is something that you should focus on. Aside from our monthly talks, our monthly workshop, the workshops that we do, and I hope I can plug this. We're also gonna have a hackathon. Another challenge. We call it challenge. We're gonna have that hopefully also this year. And our biggest event for this year is the mini conf that I mentioned kanina. So we really want to gather
Panood
all.
when?
We're hoping September. Kasi yun din yung anniversary namin. So sasabay namin yung anniversary sa sa mini conf. So unlike our previous mini conf, it's gonna be longer. So not gonna be half day, it's gonna be a full day hopefully. And then in addition to the plenary hall or the main hall, we're gonna have also a networking lounge, and then hopefully if we get sponsors or partners, they can have booths where they can learn more about no code companies and no code tools, no code agencies, no code organizations. So it's hopefully bigger and better than the last one. So that is the goal. So we have a lot of like ideas, and we are hoping to get to be able to get these things to happen. But those are our 3 biggest things for this year.
Ayan. So, abangan natin yung mga yan. No? Very exciting ang mga nalalapit na programs and events pa ni No Code Philippines. So, ayun. Thank you so much, Crystal, sa ating conversation. Grabe actually ang ganda learning about the advocacy of No Code Philippines and how actually you are empowering not just no code users but future citizen developers. So thank you so much, Crystal.
Thank you so much. I really also enjoyed talking about No Code PH, and thank you so much for being so nice and accommodating and allowing me to talk about No Code PH.
Salamat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to our 53 patrons. This episode is super powered by AskLex PH Academy, our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and more. Hyperstocks, digital banking enabler for rural and thrift banks. One CFO, CFO services, bookkeeping and tax, and payroll processing for startups and small businesses. Unawa, driving digital transformation with secure, legally enforceable electronic signatures and robust AML compliance. SchoolTech, all-in-one AI-integrated school and learning management system. Better Support, a Manila-based BPO company. They are offering a referral program for anyone who can bring in new clients. Let us know if you know any Western-based business that might have a need. Britanna, cloud-based enterprise-grade ERP solution that fits the small and medium business budget. Wonder Brand, data science-driven brand strategy and design company for emerging markets. Fail Coach Miha Matlievsky, business training, coaching, and consulting for startups and SMEs who are scaling or finding product-market fit. Drive Manila, Philippines' largest peer-to-peer car rental community. East Point Business Outsourcing Services, one-stop shop for streamlined business solutions for MSMEs such as business registration, bookkeeping, and more. Doon, Philippines' first fully insured peer-to-peer car sharing marketplace. Hire Business Solutions, provider of the most configurable cloud-based payroll system in the Philippines. DiviCode Technologies Incorporated, ID solutions specializing in software development, blockchain smart contracts, digital wallets, and cybersecurity. Mata Technologies, Philippines' premier provider of virtual tours and maps for LGU's real estate, tourism, and private businesses. Smile, consent-driven digital employment verification service to make smarter decisions faster. Mamiki Super Pet App, Philippines' first ever one-stop mobile app for pet products and services. Ignite Careers, career matching platform for Filipino talents and hiring companies in the outsourcing industry. Looking for buy and sell online with Sigurado sellers. NutriCoach, personalized nutrition and weight loss programs for you. This episode is powered by Wasteless PH, Tech Tribe, Yay, Uplift Code Camp, Board Prep, Dohe Philippines, Edfolio, Hive Rooms, Kazam, Coacham, Jure.ph, Big Giant Games, Agile Data Solutions, Hustle PH, Pahatid PH, Founders Launchpad, Pareto Consulting, Contact RFID Business Cards, Sirius MD. Support the podcast through the links in the description.